If you've ever dreamed of serving cold, poetic justice to someone who truly deserved it, hit that like button, subscribe, and settle in. This story is sweet, subtle revenge at its finest, and trust me, it was worth every lost hour of sleep. Let me take you back to the late 1990s. A different world, sure, but one where awful neighbors still existed in full force. At the time, I was living in this beautiful old listed building that had been converted into flats. The kind of place with history in its walls and a certain rustic charm that made you feel like you were part of something older, something elegant. My girlfriend and I lived in the attic flat, once part of the servants' quarters. It was cozy, a bit quirky, but we loved it. There was just one massive problem: the flat below us. Or, more specifically, the woman who lived there. Now, this woman fancied herself as some kind of bohemian goddess. A true theater darling. She worked at the local theater, mostly in the box office, but every now and then she'd get a background role in some low-budget stage production. And let me tell you, she made sure everyone knew about it. You know the type. Flowing scarves. Dramatic gestures. Her life was a performance, and sadly, so was her social life, right under our bedroom. Almost every night, especially after a show, she'd invite her fellow thespians back for wine, loud music, and even louder conversations that spilled into the early hours of the morning. Imagine it, 11:30 p.m., you've just crawled into bed after a long day at the office, and suddenly, boom! Fleetwood Mac is vibrating through the floorboards, along with cackles of laughter and the sound of furniture being dragged across the room for some interpretive dance ritual or whatever they were doing down there. We tried to be patient. We really did. The first few times, we knocked on her door, politely asked her to keep it down. She'd smile, nod, apologize. And then, a week later, it would all happen again. A never-ending loop of noise, apologies, and false promises. We weren't just frustrated, we were exhausted, sleep-deprived, angry. We both had demanding jobs and needed to be out the door by 7:30 every morning. And yet, night after night, she treated the flat like her private jazz club. I remember lying awake, staring at the ceiling, listening to laughter erupting beneath me and thinking, asterisk, why does her fun get to ruin our lives? Asterisk. We started to resent her. Deeply. But we kept it civil. Barely. Now, here's where fate steps in with a smirk. After about 2 years of this torture, we found out, through the grapevine, that she was moving out. Apparently, she'd landed a job teaching English as a foreign language in Poland. It was like waking up to find your worst hangover magically gone. The silence after she left. Heavenly. It felt like we had a brand new flat. But she never told us she was leaving. No heads up. No forwarding address. Not that we expected one. At that point, we were just glad to see the back of her. The building had a communal mailbox system. One big locked box where all the mail was dumped, and whoever got there first would pull everything out and place it on a large shelf just inside the entryway. It was a bit chaotic, but it worked. We all had a silent understanding. Grab your mail, toss the junk, and leave the rest. After she left, letters kept arriving for her. Mostly junk, catalogs, supermarket flyers, the usual. Nobody bothered with them. They'd end up in a dusty pile at the back of the shelf, slowly turning into a sad little paper mountain. No one was forwarding anything to Poland, that's for sure. But then, I noticed something. A particular sender started showing up over and over. You know the type, shiny envelopes that scream asterisk, you may already be a winner. Asterisk, ridiculous. I rolled my eyes every time I saw one. Until one day, the letter that changed everything landed on the shelf. It was thinner than the others. Formal. The front read, asterisk, important, please read immediately. Asterisk. Now, I'll admit, curiosity got the better of me. I hesitated. Then, I opened it. And what I read made my jaw drop. The letter stated, in no uncertain terms, that this woman had won a minimum of £20,000 in a prize draw. They'd tried contacting her multiple times already. If she didn't respond within 30 days, the prize would be redrawn and given to someone else. I looked around the hallway like I was holding a national secret. And then, I smiled. Let me be clear, I didn't know her new address. I wasn't going to chase her down. And more importantly, I didn't want to. This was poetic justice. Beautiful, effortless karma delivered right to our doorstep. All the sleepless nights. All the hollow apologies. All the times I dragged myself into work, red-eyed and irritable because she wanted to play host to a post-performance wine tasting until 2 a.m. And now, fate had given me the perfect opportunity to do absolutely nothing. So, I folded the letter back up, slid it neatly into its envelope. Then I placed it face down on the junk pile, right where it would quietly vanish with the rest of the forgotten clutter. I never heard from her again. No letters. No calls. No one came asking about lost winnings. For all I know, she never even realized she'd won. But I did. And for once, justice wasn't loud. It didn't knock on doors or yell through the floorboards. It was quiet. It was still. And it felt incredible. I didn't have to scream or confront her. I didn't have to be the bad guy. All I had to do was let the silence do its job. Revenge doesn't always have to be explosive or dramatic. Sometimes, the sweetest revenge is simply not lifting a finger to help someone who once made your life miserable. Sometimes, karma just needs a little room to breathe. If this story gave you chills, or maybe just a very satisfied smirk, smash that like button and subscribe for more real-life stories of karma and petty revenge. And tell us in the comments, what would you have done if you found that letter? Thanks for watching, and remember, sometimes, silence is the loudest justice of all.